What's up, everybody? Trevor Eckberg here again. Facebook Live Day 14. Damn, guys, I'm almost halfway. How did that happen? 2 weeks. 2 weeks in the books. Hell yeah. So, I got another story for you today, and this one not as serious as yesterday's. In honor of Floyd Mayweather beating up Conor McGregor, I decided I'm going to tell you guys about the first and pretty much the only time that I've ever been in a fight. I think this one's pretty funny, and I'm just going to get started. And alright, let's see, where does this story begin? Back in 2012, 2013, I believe was the year, going to school in Pullman, and yeah, stuff happens when you drink, right? So, let's see, I don't want to use exact names, that we're going to call the fraternity in this story Bro House, just because. So, a friend of mine is having a birthday party at Bro House, this fraternity, and me and a couple of my buddies, Ian and Davo, decide we're going to go to this birthday party. So, we buy a half-gallon of tequila, and between the three of us, we drank a half-gallon of tequila in like an hour or two. So, as all good stories start with tequila, we go to the party and we're hanging out, and it's a frat party, you know. There's music going, a bunch of people there hanging out, and yeah, we're drinking, and there's these things in fraternities and sororities called composites, and a composite is basically a giant picture. It's usually like 5 feet by maybe 2.5, 3 feet. And it's got everybody's picture on it from any given year in the fraternity. So, excuse me. There's probably like 30 photos of dudes in suits all wearing the same suit. And it's got their name on it, yada, yada, yada. So, every sorority, every fraternity's got a bunch of these. It depends on how long the fraternity's been around, sorority's been around, but they usually have them hanging up on the wall so you can see them. And yeah, it's kind of a thing that people try and steal these. So one fraternity is going to try and steal a composite from a different fraternity. Sometimes sororities are going to steal a composite from a fraternity, so on and so forth. And they kind of get in these, I guess you call them like a war, like you got to figure out who stole your composite, and then you're going to try and get it back, so on and so forth. So, this story is about a composite. So, in this fraternity, there's this long hallway going away from the party room, and in the hallway there's probably six composites hanging on the wall, and my drunk ass gets the great idea that, hey, I should try and take one of these. Because right at the end of the hall there's an exit door that just leads right outside. So, I tell Ian and I tell Davo what I'm about to do, and they're like, "Oh, fuck, dude," because now they're a part of it, whether they want to or not. So they're kind of watching my back, and I go down the hall, I pick up this composite off the wall, put it under my arm, and I just walk right out the door, and nobody saw me, not one person. So I walk out the door, I walk out the side stairs, up onto the street, and I just start walking home with a composite under my arm. And so far, so good. It's probably like a 3-block walk home from the Bro House to my house, where I'm living. And nobody stopped me. There were a few people who were partying in their yards and were like, "Hey bro, whose composite is that?" And I'm like, shh, be quiet, don't let anybody know. So I get this composite home, I put it in my garage, and I'm like, damn, I did it. I took the composite and nobody noticed. So, this is where the mistakes were made. I decided to go back to the party because nobody saw me steal anything. Like, they got no reason to be mad at me. So I go back to the party. Ian and Davo are still hanging out there drinking. And I decide, well, if I can take one composite, I can probably take a second one. So... Alright, so I'm in the hallway again, and I grab a second composite off the wall, put it under my arm, and I start to try to walk out the door again. Unfortunately, this time, somebody saw me. So this is a little tiny dude, he's like 5 feet tall, and he's like, hey man, you gotta put that down, that's not yours, you can't take that. I'm gonna tell everybody you're stealing the composite. And I was like, It's a tiny dude. I'm like, whatever, dude, get your friends, I don't care. And I just keep walking. So this guy's like trying to stop me, but he's obviously too small to stop me. And I go outside and I start walking up the stairs trying to get up to the street. And by the time I got up to the front yard, there was probably 10 guys waiting for me. So there's me holding this composite and my two buddies, Ian and Davo, and 10, 12 guys from the Bro House fraternity who were there to stop me from taking their composite. So I was pretty much fucked. Let's be honest. What are you gonna do if like a dozen guys stop you and tell you you can't have that composite? So I'm running through my head. What can I do? How am I gonna get out of this? And the first thing that comes to my mind is I'm just gonna start crying. I'll just start crying. So I'm holding the composite and I just go. Like everybody's so confused. They're like, why the hell is this dude? Why is he crying? And I'm just being like, this is mine, I know, it's not, you can't take it. And they're like, whatever, this guy's just really fucked up. He doesn't know what he's doing. So I give him the composite back, because obviously I'm not going to get away with it. So I'm sitting there and I'm still trying to play up like I'm just super drunk and like have no idea what I'm doing. I'm like, why'd you take my picture? So these guys aren't taking me seriously. But unfortunately, my buddies Ian and Davo were playing the soberish card, and they started talking some shit. So whichever bro number one is leading the charge of the dozen guys at Bro House is talking shit to Davo, and Davo's talking shit back. Because, well, we're all drunk, we drank all that tequila, and yeah. So, whatever, one word leads to another, and Davo and this guy start pushing each other, and Davo says to the guy, hey, if all of you dudes punch like this little bitch, I got nothing to worry about. And that's where it went downhill real fast. So this guy didn't take kindly to that insult, and he punched Davo, spam, smack right in the face. And they're standing right in front of me, 3 feet in front of me, and I stopped crying and I was like, shit, it's about to go down. So I watched this guy punch Davo in the face. So the first thing I do is cock back and punch him in the face. And I got him. I got one punch in. So this guy goes flying. Unfortunately for me, like I said, this is like my one and only fight. I didn't really know what I was doing. I throw one punch, and then I slip on the grass and just fall flat on my back in the mud. So I fall in the mud, and I've now got 10 guys standing around me, just punching me in the back. Ha, 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 ha. Thankfully, they weren't punching me in the face. I was face down in the mud, and they were just punching me in the back, which, if I could have a choice where people were going to punch me, I'd want them to punch me in the back. So all these guys are circling around me, punching me in the back, and thankfully I got Ian there for me. All these guys are so distracted by punching the big dude in the mud that Ian's just allowed to go in the back and just go, ha, 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 ha. And he just goes around the circle, punching all the guys that are punching me on the floor. So eventually, I tried to get up a couple times, and, well, if you got 8, 10 guys punching you, they're not going to let you stand up. So I try and stand up, they just throw me back in the mud. Try to stand up again, they throw me back in the mud and just keep punching me in the back. Eventually these guys realize that this wasn't working out so well. Ian's getting all these cheap shots in on the guys punching me. Davo's overdoing whatever Davo's doing, punching somebody else. And eventually somebody with a clearer head was like, you guys, stop fighting. We got the composite back. It doesn't matter. It's over. Let's let him go. So these guys, they let us go. We go back to our house. And, well, everybody else is doing all right. I'm covered in mud. And, well, I'm feeling good because I got that first composite, right? So we made it out relatively unscathed. I don't think I had any major bruises. I managed to get like one black eye. When I say black eye, it was about the size of my pinky fingernail right here. So one guy managed to hit me a little bit in the face while I was on the ground, but I think overall it was a success. So, moral of the story, be careful if you're trying to steal a composite from a fraternity. They really don't like when you steal their stuff. Moral of the story, if you're going to get punched, Try to make them punch you in the back and not in the face. Alright, thank you for watching, guys. We got 14 days in the books of these Facebook Live. I'm going to keep them coming. I got 16 days left to go on this challenge, and hopefully I got more good stories for you. So thank you for watching, and I'll be back again tomorrow with another one. See you soon.